What's up, my divalicious baddies? Welcome back to the channel. And welcome to a new series that I would like to call Hyperfixation Chats, or HFC for short, where we talk about my latest hyperfixations. This time around, we're talking about the Amazing Digital Circus. At the time of recording this, there are 8 episodes out, with the 9th and final episode coming to our screens in June of this year. And you best believe I watched all 8 episodes in one sitting. And you best believe that I'm sat for that 9th and final episode. For those of you who don't know, the Amazing Digital Circus is an animated show produced right here on YouTube. It is published by Glitch and was created by Gooseworks. The show focuses on Pomni and the rest of the gang, who are trapped in this virtual video game-like simulation, where they're at the mercy of a ringmaster known as Kane. Kane is an AI who was created solely to create adventures for the players, or the cast, to go on. A very brief introduction, I know, but if you want to learn more about the show, I highly suggest you go watch it yourself, as it is very easily accessible here on YouTube and for free. But for today's video, I want to focus on a concept that they bring up in the show, the concept of abstraction. You see, the cast that we see on the show is not the original cast of the circus. The characters we see now did not join on day one, but instead joined later on after putting on a VR headset. Where is this VR headset, why they put it on, and why no one warned them are questions that we don't know the answer to. At least yet. There's still an episode left. Regardless, that headset supposedly transports them and traps them in the digital circus. I say supposedly because there are many theories out there that suggest otherwise, or that suggest that it's more complicated than just that. But that's not the video you're watching. If you want to go watch a video like that, go ahead. After a while, the circus members start to lose their sanity, which makes sense. I would also go insane if I was trapped in a circus at the mercy of a guy that doesn't understand basic human emotion. Well, he tries, but there's only so much you can do. Think of it as gem corruption from Steven Universe, except in this case it can't be undone, at least for now. Like I said, we still have an episode left, so we never know. This is why no one from the OG cast, aside from Kinger, is seen in the circus. They have all abstracted, and have all been separated from the cast and put in this secret room that no one but Kane has access to. You may be asking, how do characters keep themselves from abstracting? Although each character uses their own method to keep themselves sane, one coping mechanism that I want to focus on today, which is found in a couple of the circus crew, is the concept of masking. More specifically, I want to focus on 2 of my favorite characters of the show, Ragatha and Jax, and how they use masking to keep themselves from abstracting, or going insane. So go ahead and grab some snacks and a drink as we take a further look into how masking is used in the Amazing Digital Circus. A little side note before we get started, this is obviously my opinion and my interpretation of the characters. You are obviously more than welcome to have a different interpretation. So if you disagree, go ahead and put in the comments. I'd love to read it. Also, spoiler warning if you haven't seen the show, which I highly doubt since you're here. But regardless, another thing I want to do before we get started is define masking. After a couple Google searches, we can conclude masking is, quote, the conscious or unconscious suppression of one's natural personality, behavior, or neurodivergent traits to conform to social pressures, fit in, or avoid stigma. Masking acts as a survival or coping mechanism. And for today's video, I want to focus on that latter half of the definition. So let's get started with Ragatha. Ragatha is the second person from our cast of characters to join the circus. We learn in episode 5 that she was born to a wealthy family and lived on a farm, but was constantly berated by her abusive mother. We see in episode 8 through Kane's mental torture that it's possible that Ragatha was abused in the real world by her own mother, which could also explain why she was summoned into the circus as a rag doll, a toy that's meant to be used and played with, typically in a rough manner. As for her personality, we see that she's a very nice person. She tries to always keep a positive attitude and make sure she's nice to everyone around her. However, there is a problem with that. You may be asking, Brand, what's wrong with being nice to people? Nothing. It's good to be nice to people. It's literally part of my outro. What makes it wrong is the lack of authenticity. Ragatha rarely allows herself to be genuine with anyone. An example is in episode 2 when Pomni wants to bring back Gummy Goo, which is an NPC that she encountered in one of the adventures. She wants to bring him back to the circus, and Ragatha doesn't argue with her. She doesn't tell her, hey, that's not what we're supposed to do. She just lets her do it. She does tell her that she doesn't know if it's allowed or not, knowing damn well that it's not allowed. And then this happens.
Oh, looks like one of these guys made it through.
Wait, what?
Rest in peace, Gummy Goo. Anyways, and in any of the episodes where Jax is mean to her, she doesn't bully him back. She just kind of lets it slide and doesn't say anything, even though it hurts her. Heck, even the couple of times she is slightly rude, she immediately takes it back and apologizes, even when she's high in episode 4. What this causes is the rest of the cast to not trust her entirely, because they never know if she's being genuine or not, if she's telling the truth or not, if she can be trusted or not. We see this both in Jax and Gangle when they talk to Pomni. They tell her that Ragatha's kindness doesn't hit the same anymore. They don't know if she's being genuine or not, therefore not knowing if she actually cares about them or not. Or if she just does it because she feels like she has to. Like, sure, she's nice, but is she really? Like, if she tells you she cares about you, but you don't know if that's genuine or not, that's not real care. That's not real love. Now, what does that have to do with masking? That's very simple. She puts on this nice mask and is nice to everyone even if she doesn't want to. She never tells people what's truly on her mind because she doesn't want to hurt their feelings. Now, why doesn't she want to hurt their feelings? Because she wants them to like her. You see, I believe that Ragatha's way of coping and keeping herself from extracting is by feeling needed and wanted by the group. It's possible that she was traumatized by her mother and influenced to believe that not being liked or loved by a group of people is a horrible thing. She doesn't want to feel that pain and that rejection, so she does anything she can to make sure that she is liked by the others. So she puts on this mask and is nice and kind to everyone and tries everything she can to be their friend, in hopes that they want to be her friend too. But ironically, it's because of her lack of authenticity that the rest of the cast feels like they can't truly be friends with her, because they don't actually know the real her. We see that she is distraught in episode 6, where she essentially tells Kinger that she feels like she's failed others because she couldn't be the friend that they needed. At the end of the day, if Ragatha were to lose her sanity and abstract, it would be because she feels hated and unwanted, the same way that her mother most likely made her feel in the real world. So she puts on the mask in hopes that people like her enough to call her their friend. As for Jax, it's like the opposite is true. As of episode 8, we don't really know much about Jax's life in the real world, but we know for sure he's made an impact in the circus. He takes the role of the bully in this show, sometimes being playful like Buford from Phineas and Ferb, but other times taking it way too far, to the point that Gangle is traumatized by him. Like, Girly is scared to be around him. One like equals one prayer for our girl Gangle. Based off of episode 6, Jax tells us that he doesn't actually care about anyone. He's just there to joke around and make everyone's life in the circus a living nightmare. And if you, like the rest of us, saw that scene and have at least a basic level of media literacy, you will know that obviously that's not true. In the next episode, we see that Jax actually did have friends in the circus, but unfortunately they have abstracted. The show heavily implies, if not outright confirms, that after his friends abstracted, Jax has not gotten close to any other circus member. Why is that? It's because he doesn't want to feel the pain of losing them, knowing that he'll never see them again once they inevitably abstract, just like the friends in his picture. So he puts on a mask, pretends like he doesn't care, and doesn't try to get close to anyone, while in the meantime being mean to them so they don't get close to him either. Because he knows if he doesn't, he'll eventually get attached to them, and they'll eventually leave him once they abstract. And just like Ragatha, masking doesn't work for him either. He pushes people away and makes them hate him, at least to some extent, and he still gets attached anyways. We clearly see that he has feelings for Pomni, either it be romantic or platonic. Me personally, I want to see them as platonic, but that's just me, you could think whatever you want. We see that he tells her that he doesn't care about her. He pushes her away, and yet he still forms those feelings. So guess what, if she ends up abstracting before he does, he's still gonna feel that pain, even though he tried his best to push her away. So even though he puts on this bully persona and says he doesn't care, his words say one thing, but his heart says another. The way I see it is that Jax doesn't want to be abandoned, which is why he pushes the button to stay in the circus in episode 7. Once again, although he says he doesn't care, he much rather put on a mask and be fake and be surrounded by people instead of being truthful and abandoned. Talking about episode 7 one more time and actually considering why he pushed the button to stay stuck, even though obviously it didn't matter, they would have stayed stuck anyways. But I believe the reason why he doesn't want to leave is because he has no one waiting for him on the other side. He has no friends, no family that actually care about him on the other side. So he prefers to stay trapped in the circus with these people, his newfound family, as opposed to go back to nothing. So I believe if Jax ever does abstract, it's because he was left alone and abandoned with no one to care for him. So he puts on this mask, pretending that he doesn't need them, in hopes that he eventually believes it too. So what did we learn? Don't get trapped in the Amazing Digital Circus. Alright, you have a good one. Bye. I'm just kidding. We see the negative consequences that masking has on people, and it may give you the results you want in the short term, but in the long term, it won't give you what you need. In Ragatha's case, we see that it's best to be who you are. Eventually, you'll find your people. You'll find your found family that loves you for who you are, no matter what. As for Jax's case, it's always best to feel your emotions, whether they be positive or negative. It's not good to suppress emotions. At the end of the day, it's going to haunt you that you didn't form connections with these people, when they were right there. And they wanted to be your friend, but you pushed them away. So might as well just use the opportunity and make some friends. Anyways, divas, that's it from me today. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you want to see me talk about the Amazing Digital Circus more, please let me know what you want me to talk about in the comments below. I would love to make more videos about it, especially if we talk about my favorite character, Bubble.
And Bubble Chef.
Made with all the love I'm legally allowed to give.
This is technically not my first hyperfixation chat video. Heck, I started this channel talking about Heartstopper. I have other videos that will also lump into the same category, and I'll also make a playlist so you could check those out. I've talked about Heartstopper, The Owl House, and Twilight. So if you want to know who I would choose between Edward and Jacob, you should check out that video. It's going to be in the eye in the corner of the screen. If not, you can also check out the playlist at the end of the video. But once again, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you want to see more of me, you can go ahead and subscribe. I post semi-frequently, so you'll hear from me eventually. You could also follow my socials. I have both Instagram and TikTok. If you want to see what I'm up to there, you can go ahead and give me a follow. But that's it for me. Once again, thank you divas so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please stay safe out there, be kind to others, and hopefully I'll see you NT. See you next time. Bye.